same sense, that the work of the cells within his body is to develop the mind principle. When through experience in the three worlds the human units have accomplished this, they can then gain through the final initiation something of the group concept, or the conscious realization of place, and of energized activity within the ring pass not of their particular planetary logos. Therefore, we might consider the following points. First, the work of the units, who go to the make-up of a particular planetary logos. This is of a threefold nature. A. To attain the consciousness of the realized control of their own individual ring pass knot, or of their own sphere of activity. This covers the period of evolution up to the first initiation, or their entrance upon the path, and thus into the spiritual kingdom. It concerns the awakening of consciousness on the three lower planes. B. To attain the consciousness of the particular center in the body of one of the planetary logoi, which center embodies their group activity. This carries them to the fifth initiation, and covers the period wherein consciousness is awakened on the 5 planes of evolution. C. To attain to the consciousness of the center in the body of the logos of which any particular planetary logos is the sum total. This carries them to the 7th initiation and covers the period of the awakening of consciousness on the 7 planes of the solar system. These expansions are attained by the aid of mind, transmuted in due course of time into love-wisdom, and entail the conscious control of the entire 7 planes of the solar system, or of the lowest cosmic plane. Second, the work of the heavenly men who in their totality are the 7 centers in the body of the logos. This work is again threefold. A. To attain to full self-consciousness, or to individual consciousness on the 5 planes. To vibrate with conscious activity within their own ring pass knot, a planetary scheme. This covers a period in the scheme of involution, and of that period during the evolutionary stage which is comprised within the first 3 rounds up to the entrance upon the 4th round. B. To attain to the consciousness of the solar logos, within whose body they form the centers. It entails the attainment by a heavenly man of the group consciousness of a 7-fold nature, or the achievement of accurate vibratory relationship with the other heavenly men who form the other centers. It carries with it the capacity to have full conscious control on the 7 planes of the solar system, and covers that period of development which is undergone in the planetary chain during the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds. It should be borne in mind that a paralleling recognition should here be given to the fact that the solar logos holds an analogous position in the body of a cosmic entity to that held by a heavenly man in the body of a solar logos. C. To attain to the consciousness of a greater center on cosmic levels. This covers the period of the 7th round, and gives to a heavenly man, when these rounds are viewed in the light of the eternal now, and not from the standpoint of time and of space, the consciousness of the cosmic astral, or the 2 lowest plane of the cosmic planes. A great deal of the problem, to be seen slowly working out at this time to a solution, is due to the fact that the control of the heavenly man, whose body our scheme may be, is as yet but partial, and his cosmic experience is as yet but imperfect. This necessarily affects the cells in his body in the same way that lack of astral control in the case of a human being affects his vehicle. It might here be pointed out that the evolution of the heavenly men is unequal, and that our planetary logos has not the control, for instance, that the heavenly man of the Venus chain has achieved. In each round one subplane of the cosmic astral plane is brought under control, and the consciousness of the heavenly man expands to include one subplane more. The planetary lord of Venus has dominated and controlled the 5 subplanes and is working on the 6th. Our planetary logos is engaged in a similar work on the 4th and 5th. The work, as in all cycles, overlaps, and it might be explained thus. He is perfecting the control of the 4th subplane on the cosmic astral plane, and has nearly completed it. He is beginning to work at the control of the fifth subplane, a control which will be perfected in the fifth round. He is sensing and responding to the vibration of the sixth subplane, but is not as yet fully conscious on that subplane. We have a corresponding reflection to this in the fourth and fifth root races on this planet, in which the astral consciousness of the Atlantean cycle is being perfected, the fifth principle is being developed, and the sixth is being gradually sensed. This deserves thoughtful consideration. Third, the work of a solar logos is again of a corresponding nature. A. He has to attain to the full consciousness of his entire ring pass knot, or of the 7 planes of the solar system. This covers a period when 5 of the heavenly men, or 5 of his centers, and therefore, 5 schemes, reach a stage of accurate response to contact and stimulation. B. He has to attain to the consciousness of the cosmic logos within whose body he is a center. He must find by experience his place within the cosmic group of which he is a part, in much the same way as a planetary logos pursues a similar course. This is achieved when all the heavenly men or each of the 7 centers are awakened and functioning consciously and freely, with their systemic interrelation adjusted and controlled by the law of action and reaction. It brings within his control not only the 7 subplanes of the cosmic physical plane, our 7 major planes, but necessarily also the cosmic astral plane. C. To attain to the consciousness of the center in the body of the one about whom naught may be said. This center is formed by the sphere of influence of the cosmic logos. In the body of the cosmic logos, a solar logos is a center. We must bear in mind that this enumeration is given from the standpoint of the present, and from the angle of vision, relatively limited, of the heavenly man of our particular scheme, and that it is therefore circumscribed by his peculiar conditions, which govern the intelligence of the cells in his body. It is given from the point of view of differentiation, and not of synthesis. A synthetic absorption proceeds eventually in connection with all these entities, and each undergoes a process, paralleling on his own level that undergone by the microcosm. In the case of the microcosm, the causal body, or the body of the ego, acts as the synthesizer of the energy of the quaternary or lower self, and the spiritual tabula planae. Evolution in the universe entity vehicle center space-time, the unknown 7 constellations. Cosmic logos 5 cosmic planes. A cosmic logos 7 solar systems, solar logos 4 cosmic planes. A solar logos 7 planetary schemes, heavenly man 3 cosmic planes. Period of 3 solar systems. A heavenly man 7 planetary chains, koans and groups, 2 cosmic planes. Period of 1 solar system. A man 7 etheric centers, a principle 1 cosmic plane, period of 1 planetary scheme. Or monadic sheath as the synthesizer of the 7 principles, making thus the 3, the 7, and the 10. In closing, I would point out that the mind must carefully be kept from reducing all these ideas into a rankly materialistic concept. It must be rigidly borne in mind that we are dealing with the subjective life, and not with the objective form, and that we are considering, for instance, the synthesis of the principles or the qualitating energies and not the synthesis of form. Through each etheric center, man is bringing to perfect vibration some one principle, or quality through which the subjective life may express itself. Through each chain in the scheme, a heavenly man is endeavoring to do the same. Through each scheme in the system, a solar logos is working at the same thing. The goal is synthetic quality, and not primarily the perfection of the form. The response of the energized form to the qualitative life is naturally under the law equal to the demand, but this is of secondary importance and is not the object in view. We have seen that the work to be accomplished in all the above cases is necessarily threefold. First, the development of individual consciousness. Second, The development of group consciousness. Third, the development of God consciousness, of that consciousness in each case which represents the highest spiritual source, and which is recognized as the same in essence as the God within the individual, whether man or solar logos. This concept must be meditated upon by all thinkers, and its synthesis emphasized. The relation of the cell to the group, of the group to the aggregate of groups, and of them all to the indwelling entity who holds them in synthetic correlation by means of the law of attraction and repulsion is of vital moment. Two main ideas must always be borne in mind. That the terms, cell, group, or congery of groups, relate entirely to the form of vehicle, and thus to the matter aspect. That the idea of an entity who synthesizes the groups, and is the animating life of the cell has to do with the spirit aspect. These two concepts lead necessarily to a third, that of the development of consciousness, which is the gradual expansion of the realization of the indweller in the form, the apprehension by the self of the relation of the form to itself, and of its slow utilization and control. This persists until that realization includes the cell, the group, and the totality of groups. These ideas can be applied to the three grades of consciousness referred to as follows. Man, the lowest type of coherent consciousness, using the word consciousness in its true connotation as the one who knows, is but a cell, a minute atom within a group. A heavenly man represents a coherent conscious group. A solar logos on his own plane holds an analogous place to that of a heavenly man in the solar system, and from a still higher standpoint to that of a man within the solar system. When the place of the solar planes within the cosmic scheme is duly apprehended, it will be recognized that on cosmic levels of a high order the solar logos is an intelligence, as relatively low in the order of cosmic consciousness, as man is in relation to solar consciousness. He is but a cell in the body of the one about whom naught may be said. His work parallels on cosmic levels the work of man on the solar planes. He has to undergo on the three lower cosmic planes a process of developing an apprehension of his environment of the same nature as man in the three worlds. This fact should be remembered by all students of this central division of our subject. Above all, the analogy between the cosmic physical planes and the solar physical planes must be pondered upon. It holds the fourfold mystery. 1. The mystery of the Akasha. 2. The secret of the fifth round. 3. The esoteric significance of Saturn, the third planet. 4. The occult nature of cosmic Kundalini, or the electrical force of the system. One hint on this fourth point may be given for wise consideration. When the electrical interplay between the planets is better ascertained, and by this I mean their negative or positive interplay, then it will be revealed which are related or connected, and which are nearing the point of balance. I would here point out very briefly certain facts, not pausing to elaborate, or to elucidate, but simply making various statements which as the knowledge of man progresses will assume their rightful place in the ordered scheme. They will then be seen as enlightening, and revealing the necessary sequence of development. 2. The work of the atomic units,